Good morning, Rabbi Yisai. L'alui Nishmat Gershi Rose and Shimi Leafman promoting MDY at a Joey Newcomb Kumsitz in Manchester last night. Photo credit Zevi Pines. And here is something at the actual Kumsitz. Nice loud volume.
Good morning, Rabbi Yisai.
Osher Shochet, Daf Yomi. Please see that the Lubavitcher Rebbe writes the same regarding girls' plays in Igros Kodesh, Volume 10, letter 3200. Yeah, 3200. Banegel haTzagot shorchot mizman lizman b'chlal nachon adav b'moed moed. It's a very good thing for them to do. Ella sheyesh li shomer minyanim shedoshim oisim ba'akev. You got to be careful from the things that people are used to doing, various that people are used to. Avshem isure Torah. Even though it's the Raisa, ukimoi lo yekli gever alisha v'goymer. Rafi Segelstein. Firstly, I want to thank you and the whole MDY team for all you're doing to be my restorer to the world. One daf at a time, one Jew at a time. It's great. I don't have to focus to follow with an average cheer while listening to you. I can picture it all and get a great amount from the slide charts, joke stories, disagreements, you name it. Talking about disagreements, he's not here today, but I see a shver in the back. Rabbi Badenheim. Shalom Aleichem, Shkoyach for coming. Keep it up. Chazak, chazak. What, you found out that he's not coming, so that's why you showed up? On another note, as Yimei HaSfira are coming up, I'm going from Inyan LeInyan, Boisa Inyan, from Lubavitch to Lubavitch. Rebbe Rashav's yard side. For another Inyan, Yimei HaSfira are coming up. You probably know, and I did hear about this. The Chabad has a minhag to learn Gemara Soita every day of the Omer, 48 days. Each day we do a daf. So maybe mention in Shiur that anyone who will be doing Soita during Sfira can get a head start with Daf Yomi and then do Chazar throughout Sfira. And we could also do Chazar then. We want to initiate a Chazar program for Soita, encourage others to get Lubavitchers on the bandwagon. It's a great opportunity. Is that kid that was here yesterday with the hat? He's not here, huh? He said he's coming back. I didn't realize at the time that kid won a raffle. Somebody, Murad Nakash, said that if he gets 20 people to join the Shiur, he'll buy him a ticket to Eretz Yisrael, and that's why he was here. Wow. I should have brought him over. He got 20. He stood outside and got 20 adults, not children, 20 adults, and he follows up with them. He said, "No, they're." I said, "Are they still doing it?" Yeah. I speak to them. They're still doing it. What amazing chevra! Oh, where are we? After the Shiur of Scheinberg's Yahrzeit, you asked me whether I understand the Shiur. Now, as Frank mentioning that due to the numerous tech issues that day, I was unable to follow. I apologize if I didn't explain myself properly. Over 90% of the time, the Shiur is broadcast in Zoom without a hitch. So we in the Zoom world have tremendous hakaras hatov to Gary, Yosef, and the rest of the MDY crew. In any event, I later listened to the edited recording of the Shiur, and the charts helped me make the Shiur extremely understandable. When you mentioned on Wednesday the mitzvah of wearing tzitzis, we had a Zoom discussion in which an MDY participant mentioned that he was wearing an arba complex made of nylon. Actually, somebody sitting right next to me was wearing nylon, but he was too embarrassed to pull it out. So because he's bringing it up, I want to make sure, because there was a little bit of a misunderstanding perhaps, maybe I didn't come across clear. Is a nylon beged kosher for tzitzis? Anybody? Yes, if we use nylon tzitzis or wool tzitzis, but it's 100% kosher. I think. There's machlokes. Machlokes. Okay. Hey, you're not. It's machlokes. Okay. Well, as much as I know, as much as I understand, the issue is more the tzitzis, the cotton tzitzis. Now, if the nylon beged is good or not, that's a different story. Okay. So what happened was, somebody said that he's wearing nylon tzitzis. He lives far from a Jewish community, and he asked whether he's properly fulfilling the mitzvah. Without a blink, Shlomi Klein asked for the MDY's participants' contact information, promising to ship him a few pairs of cotton tzitzis. What an amazing chevra. Ashreinu chalkeinu. Have a wonderful chodesh and hope to see you at the upcoming Arya Checkanow. I think we pushed it off. Lichvod Reb Eli chasana on Tuesday, yeah? I don't want to hurt his chasana, so I'm sacrificing my own being there for the covet of Doron. Listen, he did help us out with the four-legged anicle, and I have hakaras hatov. Anyways, I love him for all different reasons. Your Talmud Avram Zurov Kiryat Sefer Yishkoyach. Westside. Today's koil sponsored by Anon Ymous from Lakewood. And the koil sponsored by Reuben Klein in honor of my daughter Elise becoming Kalat at Chaim Elefant from Toronto. The Masech is sponsored by Maaser. The Masech is sponsored by LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant by Anon Ymous. The sponsor Chodesh, Anon Ymous from Flatbush for continued Brocha, Mazel, and clarity. Parnas Chodesh, Landy Family, LeAliyat Nishmat Israel Chaim ben Yeshעי. So I'll pause here for a second because I was thinking about Shlomi Klein Lubavitch at my son's chasana. Aaron, he realized that some of the boys at the chasana didn't put on tefillin in a very long time. So he ran back to his hotel, I think it was a half hour away, brought his tefillin, set up a stand in the middle of the smorgasbord, and he was putting on tefillin, and a lot of boys came by and putting on tefillin, including myself. I wasn't wearing tefillin for a few, but there's a picture of me putting on tefillin, and I'm thinking to myself, the Lubavitchers, they go out there. It's embarrassing in the beginning. Maybe you get used to it eventually. You go out there just to be kind. So some person should be kind. The mitzvah of tefillin, one time, it hopefully has ashpanim for the rest of his life, etc., etc. If they do it, we could do it. But I think we're doing even a bigger thing. We're giving somebody a Gemara. He's attaching himself to learning every day. It's not a one-time thing. He'll be learning a daf every day, changing his life. Pasha changing his life. So go out there. I know sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone and go over to reach out to a person you don't really talk to, you don't care to talk to. I'm not asking you to put up a stand in the middle of the street, but I mentioned here Landy. Landy told me yesterday that he's setting up a stand at Shiner Shul. Now, there's a guy, a regular guy. He's stand there with a stand and try. You know, you go out of your comfort zone to get another person to learn Torah. Why not? So Yishkoyach Mo. L'Aliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant. Chaim ben Ya'akov Shmuel Zechariah by his Westside friends. L'Aliyat Nishmat Zechariya ben Moshe. The parents Hayim, Arya Checkanow, Lichvod Reb Eli and the entire MDY family in honor of my grandson's Bris today. I guess it's two different things. I wasn't invited to be a sandik. Interesting. Okay. In honor of Avi Zucker engagement to Raizy Buchinger and L'Aliyat Nishmat Daniel Yehuda ben Yosef. Parnas Hayim, Martin Lifshutz. Honor of son Usher becoming a Chatan to Aviva Wapner of Toronto. You know them? Oh, Mazel Tov. And the fourth sponsor, Golden Dove Alert. Who could that be? Mazel Tov to Saadia and Shiffy and the Schneiders and the birth of a girl, official Mishnah. We would have had more detail, but we were limited to the 85 characters. So you wasted it on that line. The art of the month, for completely refuah, for Chaim Tzvi ben Leah. Rabbi say, so I just want to remind the Olam, we're starting Saita in a week. And if you bring somebody to learn Saita, and that person finishes Masechta Saita, which is not that difficult, it's only 48 days. Yes, there's Pesach in between. So you stand on top of them, ask them once in a while how it is. The two of you get entered into a raffle, and there's a combined prize. Now somebody added another $1,000. Combined prize money of $3,000. You heard it right, $3,000. Mendy, what would you do for $3,000? Yeah, you can go on a. Whoever's playing that, maybe. Yeah, Chazara. So yeah, you could go on a safari with that money. Not that you would. All right. No, that's not what it costs you guys to ship me there. Okay. Rabbi said we had an amazing sugya. The good thing is, the official Mishnah sponsored the Refuas Avram Menashe ben Chana Bracha. His brother just wrote me an email. I didn't have a chance to put it in. We'll read it a different time, hopefully. He took over the Daf Yomi for him. He said, my brother's not doing it, so I'm not a Daf Yomi guy, I'm doing it for him. And he might get stuck, unfortunately, doing it. So we did this Mishnah, word for word, and we explained it, and everybody understood it. One or two people in the room might not have, so we're going to do a little bit of a chazara, and we're going to go through it quickly. Our main focus today is the karbonas. No, what's going on is that we changed the clocks here in Eretz Yisrael. So the Olam is still, they're waking up, the alarms are going off, like what is going on here? Okay. Rabbi Isai goes like this. If a person is a Nazir The entire Masechta we learned if a person is a Nazir, how many times does he have to shave his head if he's a Nazir? One time. All the way at the end, he shaves his head. If a person is a Nazir and he touched a dead person, how many times does he have to shave his head? 2 times. He has to shave his head for the Tumah, to get rid of the Tumah, and then he counts how many days? 30 days. Rabbi said 30 days. And then he shaves his head again. If a person is a Motsei, not a Nazir, not anything, he's a Motsei. He looks and he sees a bunch of blotches on his skin and the kind says, you're a Motsei. How many times does he have to shave his head? At least twice. He shaves his head once. Once he's tar, once the kind says it's gone, shaves his head, the mikveh, the whole process, waits 7 days, and shaves his head again. But what if you combine everything together? He's a Motsei, he's a Nazir, and he went to a funeral. So he has to shave his head 4 times. 2 times because he's a Motsei, 1 time because he's Tameh, as a Nazir, and 1 time for a regular Nazir. If he was just a Nazir, and he's Tameh, he would have to go 2 times. He'd have to shave twice. And if he's just a Motsei, twice. So 2 plus 2, even in Panovich, we learned is 4. So he goes to the barber 4 times. So the Mishnah talks about a situation where he's definitely a Nazir, but he doesn't know if he touched a dead person, and he doesn't know if he's a Motsei. Whatever the case is, you can look in Taisvis, maybe the kohen got mixed up with another person, it wasn't so clear, the tzaras. Okay.
Wait, but Rebbe, how long is that to work?
Says the Mishnah, hold on. We have a lot to accomplish today. What was your question?
How long does he have to wait? You said you have to shave 4 times. So how long does he
What
wait?
do you think? I'm not going to go into that.
Well, sorry.
That's today's Shiur. It's a very good question.
I don't ask too many questions.
Don't get over here. Okay. Shkoyach. Nazir Shayit Tameh. Let's do the Mishnah. Nazir Shayit Tameh b'safek u'muchle b'safek. If he's a Nazir who we're not sure if he went to a funeral, if he touched the dead person at the funeral. He's there, but we're not sure. He's a safek if he's Tameh. U'muchle b'safek. We're not sure if he's a Motsei. Both of them are a safek. So, let's take a look at here. If he's definitely a Nazir and definitely became Tameh, and he definitely is a Motsei, so here you have it. He takes a haircut for his tzaras, he takes a haircut for his tzaras, then he takes a haircut for his tumah, then he takes a haircut for his tahara for the end of the process. And the way it would look like is as follows. If he's definitely a Motsei, could he take a haircut while he's a Nazir? Yes. The tzaras pushes off the Naziros. Esse doiche, lois esse. That was the different sugi we learned yesterday. So he starts on day 1. He waits 7 days, takes another haircut. Now he has to wait 7 days. Why? He needs hair growth. Only of 7 days for the tumah situation, not 30 days after the tumah situation. He takes another haircut after 7 days. That's 14 days. Now he has to be a Nazir. He was never a Nazir. He was a Motsei that doesn't count. We said everybody agrees the days of the tzaras don't count. He's only 7 days. Tumah, get rid of the tumah. Now he starts all over again. Now he puts in 30 days. Boom. 44 days later, he's tahar. That's easy. But since we don't know that he's a Vadei Nazir, a Vadei Tameh, or a Vadei Motsei, he cannot take a haircut on day 1. Because he might not be a Motsei. You can only push off a Nazirus if you're 100% a Motsei. Now you take a haircut as a Motsei. I don't know if you're a Motsei. You might be a Nazir and not a Motsei, and it's Issa D'Oraisa to shave your head. So what do? You wait 30 days. You wait 30 days, and then Miman Shach, whatever haircut I'm taking now is great. If I'm Tameh, I'm taking a haircut. If I'm a Motsei, I'm taking a haircut because I'm a Motsei. If I'm not a Motsei and not Tameh, I'm taking a haircut because I'm a Nazir. I just finished 30 days in the zeros. And then we evaluate the same situation 30 days later. You have to wait another 30 days. Because what if he was actually Tameh? And the first time he shaved his head was because he was Tameh. Or the first time he shaved his head was because he's a Motsei. So now, he was never a Nazir. Now he has to make up his Nazirs. So he waits another 30 days. And then he waits another 30 days. It's always 30-day increments. Let's see the next slide. Now, if I don't know if he's tameh at all, so he cannot take a haircut. You see the line right through it. He cannot take a haircut on day one because he might be a Nazir. You can't take a haircut. So you wait 30 days. On day 30, you have three options. Either I'm taking a haircut today because I'm a Motsei, or because I'm tameh, or because I'm tar. Three options. Then the second haircut, 30 days later, is not for the tumah. Why? Because I'm dealing with the tzaras. And anyway, he's not tameh right now because he already went through a process of purification. He's not tameh, he just needs a haircut. So I'm going to shave him for the second time for the tzaras, but maybe he's not a Motsei at all, so I'm going to give him a haircut now, the same haircut, for being a Nazir. But what about the korbanos, Rabbi Yisai? There's three different sets of korbanos going on here. There's a set of korbanos for a Nazir who finishes his Naziros. There's a set of korbanos for a Nazir who's tameh. There's a set of korbanos for a Motsei. And there's also birds for a Motsei. Two little birds, those little birds that fly around everywhere in the world, the little sparrows, not pigeons, sparrows. You throw one away, you let him fly away, you shecht one, you put the blood in the water. What about how did the korbanos fit in? That's what we're going to discuss mostly today. And I think we have some very, very good charts to make it easy. Better charts than these charts. Now let's keep on moving. Let's just do this real quickly. This is the Mishnah. Then he waits another 30 days. Now he's definitely not a Motsei. Why? Because we already did 2 shavings for tzaras, but perhaps he never took care of his tumah. So today we're going to give him a haircut for his tumah, and we're also going to say, just in case he was never tameh, we're going to give him a haircut because he's a Nazir. Maybe he's a Nazir. And the first 2 that he got haircuts were for his tzaras, not for his Naziros. So every single step of the way, maybe we're giving him a haircut for being a Nazir. And finally, the 4th haircut is only for one thing. We got rid of tumah on the 3rd haircut. We got rid of tzaras in haircut number 1 and 2. The only thing left is perhaps he never got a haircut for being a real Motsei. So he gets a haircut on the 4th for Nazir. Sorry, thank you. Everybody's awake and paying attention. Gewaldig. I'm not so awake.
Want coffee?
Actually, that would be a very interesting idea. Okay, what about if he became a Nazir for a year, not for 30 days? Same exact thing, says the Gemara, same exact thing. We want to prove from here that it doesn't count, and the Gemara says, yeah, you're right. What happens? He's a Nazir for a year, but he's also maybe a Motsei. Could he take a haircut during that first year? No. He might be a Nazir, and a Nazir cannot take a haircut. But maybe he's a Motsei, but it's only a maybe. If we knew for sure he's a Motsei, take a haircut, says to take a haircut in the middle of the year. But he's a maybe a Motsei. Maybe a Motsei could wait a little bit. Let him wait until the end of the year. Then he takes a haircut at the end of the year, maybe for the tzaras, maybe for the tumah. I don't know. So wait another year. And he takes another haircut after the year. But maybe it was for the second tzaras and not even for the tumah. So wait another year, a 3rd year. 3rd year, he takes a haircut for the tumah, and maybe he's a real Nazir, not even tameh, so he takes a haircut for that. And then he waits a 4th year, just in case he never took a haircut for being a Nazir. So he has to take it. It doesn't matter if it's 30 days or 30 years, it's the same exact halacha. Here are the charts. Oh, no, I'm sorry, thank you very much. I'll pretend I'm drinking, but it has milk. I don't do milk. Yeah. Shkoy Chavi, wow. Yeah, whatever. The adrenaline is going to get me through this, not a problem. So here, I'm just going to fly through these charts because it's identical to 30 days. Year 1, after the year is over, you have 3 opportunities to take a haircut. You have 3 reasons why you might take a haircut today. You're taking one haircut because maybe you're Motsei, maybe you're tameh, or maybe you're not tameh, you're just a regular Nazir. Year 2, we get rid of the tumah option. He just has to finish off his tzaras, the second haircut of tzaras. Usually wait 7 days. He just waited 2 years to take a second haircut. And a year after the first haircut. And maybe he's a real Nazir, so he's going to shave for that. And now we go to year 3. And the tumah comes back. Maybe he never got rid of tumah. Why? Because maybe year 1 and 2, all he did was got rid of tzaras. He never got rid of tumah. And you cannot use Remember thank you so much. You can't use one haircut for another haircut. Each haircut is individual, and that we're going to learn today why. And Memela, he has to get rid of the Tumah on year 3. And because now he got rid of Tzaras 1, Tzaras 2, Tumah 1, and what's left? Tahara, regular Naziros, and that he does on year 4. Oh, no, this is the wrong chart. I wasn't paying attention. This is Rav Chizda. Thank you very much. The Gemara was trying to prove that if Rav Chizda is right, it should be 30 days and 3 years, not 4 years. But okay, fine. This I'll show you in a second. Let's go to the Mishnah for a second. Nazir shahaya tameh b'safek u'muchla b'safek. If he's a Nazir and he's tameh, only in safek, and he's muchla means tzaras, only b'safek. Oichel b'kachim achar shishim yom. He has to take 2 shavings, and then we get rid of what? Tzaras. After 2 haircuts, we got rid of the tzaras. Therefore, what? He could eat kachim, because a Motsei can't eat kachim. A Nazir could. And he drinks wine and touches dead people. In other words, he's done with his tzaras. Achar meya ve'esrim. What? He gets rid of his naziros. Achar meya ve'esrim yoim. 4 months. 4 times 30. Why? Shetiglachas hanega doiche tiglachas hanazir. If he's 100% a Motsei, it pushes off the Naziros and he takes a haircut in the middle of his Naziros. Bisman Shuvadai, that's only when he knows for sure. Ava Bisman Shu Safek, in a Doicha, but when he's a Safek, it don't push off. So you do the worst case scenario. You always do the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is that he's a Nazir. That we leave for all the way at the end. Worst case scenario is that he might be a Motsei, right? This, Levi, this is for you. The doctor's calling this guy. They say, listen, we have to talk to you about your mother-in-law. So he comes back home. And his wife, what did the doctor say? The doctor said that your mother is moving in with us. She goes, you serious? What? He said, yeah. The doctor said you have to prepare for the worst of the worst. Fine. That's the joke for today. The rest is all serious and charts. Tana. We just showed that chart. That's the whole Mishnah is talking about 30, 30, 30 equals 120 days. But if you do the same exact thing times a year, if he accepted upon himself a Nazirus of a year, then it takes him, instead of 60 days, it's 2 years to start eating kachim. And then it takes 4 years. We just do the multiples. Instead of multiples of 30 days of a typical Nazir, we do multiples of a year. Now it's very interesting. Even though I went to Skver Yeshiva for Cheder for a few years, Beis Yitzchak in 14th Avenue, I didn't know this tidbit of information. I hope it's I think it's true, but you can find out if it's not true. I was told that Skver Hasidim have 4 haircuts a year. Only 4. They shave Erev Pesach, Erev Shavuos. Also, they shave for Parshas Miketz when Yosef got a Tiglachas. And the 4th one was Rosh Hashanah. Very good, Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. So, Arba Tiglachiyos. Check it out. I don't know if it's MS, but obviously they go 0-0 kind of, and so you don't really see. But I don't know. It's hard to understand. I don't know if it's true. What do you say? Okay. Some jokes I don't repeat. Many jokes. Betani Allah. So I just want to share with you, I thought this would be interesting for the Olam. I don't know if you can see over here. I'll read it for you because it's kind of small. This is a WhatsApp between me and Yoshi. So the whole morning he was working on the Nazir book, which went to printing yesterday. So that was the morning. At 2:36 in the afternoon, I left him a voice note of what I would like on the charts. So he says, I hear we can for sure do that. I'll have to be clear that he's a Motsei, Nazir, Tameh. Fine. Then I left him another. He goes, I agree, much clearer. He had his idea. We got on the phone, discussed it. Fine. At 3:50, he came out with his first rendition of this Motsei. It's lit, all splashed up. I said, no. We need him with his hands out, holding a carbon, because I had this thing in my head that I want. I'll show you how it came out. Then at 7 p.m., I send him a chart. You see that piece of paper? I send him 3 charts, which we're going to see much later. That's 7. And then at 11:18 p.m., I ask him, how's it going? He goes, slow, I'm bombed. So not working at full speed. And at 1:49 a.m., he sends it to me. And at 3:56 a.m., I said, I got it, I'm very tired. So the man was working for endless hours. At literally 2 a.m., he sends this to me. Okay, so I just want to show you what... Huh? Oh, whatever. I don't know which one it was. Maybe his thing changed automatically. When did they change the clock?
2 a.m.
So it was already changed, no? Okay. And this doesn't include the almost hour phone call that I had with him until 1:30 a.m. Fine. Because he didn't have time to do this. So usually he does the sugya, but it was little this. And I hope we got it right. Okay, so this is just we're not going to use this chart a lot, but just to show you, if he's a Nazir Tahir, he gets the Karbanis on the right. We discussed this a lot, the Oila, Chatas, and Shlamim. If he's a Tameh, if he's going through the procedure of Tumah, so then there's 2 birds and an Asham. The Gemara is going to ask, what happened to the Asham? Where's the Asham? How come it's not included in the Sugya? And then in Motsei, you see he cut it off on the top. There's 2 sparrows over there. And then that's for the first time he shaves. The second time he shaves, he brings all these other Karbanas, right? Chatas, Oila, and Asham. Fine. Now, this is what I wanted it to look like, and I'm happy that he was able to go with it. Basically, what we see on the bottom is 3 people, but we're all in the same day. That's what I want you to understand. We're talking about the same person going through 3 different scenarios, the same guy. So on the left, he's a Nazir. On the right, he's a Motsei, but it's the same guy. He has the same length of hair at the same time. I asked him to take off his hair to show that he's a Motsei. And he's pointing now, he's a Motsei. So the Gemara says like this, very, very simple. Seriously, it's mamish, it's easy, shmeezy now that you have the charts. If you look at the top left corner, it's talking about the first haircut. We have 3 options here. Either he's a Motsei, or he's Tameh, that's the guy in the middle that has a red outline, right? That's how we call a guy who's Tameh. Or he's Tar, he's all the way to the left, he's done with his Naziros. What does he have to bring in terms of Karbanas? What he brings in terms of Karbanas are the things on top. And check this out how it works. It goes like this. He brings 2 birds because he might be a Motsei. And he also brings a Chatas if he brings another bird. So the Oila, it becomes an Adava. He doesn't need to bring an Oila today. What he has to bring is birds. But he brought a sheep. So the sheep is a gift to Hashem. Fine. What about the Chatas? He doesn't have to bring a Chatas today. You bury it. Okay, you shecht it, you bury it, you do nothing with it, but you're allowed to shecht it. Why? There's a special halacha. When it comes to a bird, chatas, you're allowed to bring it even if you don't know for sure. Suffolk. It's a special halacha. You don't have this halacha by an animal, chatas. So therefore, he has to become a poor person. That he's a poor person could bring a poor bird. How do you become a poor person? You mafkir everything you have. Okay, that's a side note. Next. Now, we're saying that he's a Tameh. He's a Nazir, he has long hair, but he became Tameh. So what does he do? He brings the Chatas Haif. That's very good for him. It's the same guy, bringing the same 3 Karbanas. I'm just explaining, it's one scenario. He got a haircut, and if he's a Motsei, the birds are for him. If he's a Tameh, then the pigeon is for him. And if he's a Tar, then the Oila is for him. But if he's not Tahar, he's Tameh, so what's the Oila for? Nidava. So get rid of the birds. He doesn't care about the birds. They can fly away. The Oila is a Nidava. Shalom Yisrael. We're still in the same haircut. He got a haircut now. Now, let's say he is a Nazir who's tahar, then the Ayla goes for him. That's a perfect Ayla. The birds fly away, let them fly away, who cares? You're doing this process anyways outside of the Beis HaMikdash, the birds, and the Chat HaZayv goes into you bury it. Shalom Yisrael. Now, we're talking about the second haircut. Second haircut, you dropped part of the korbanos. Why? Because the birds are not important here. Hold on a second. What you see here is we're not going to be dealing with a tamei Nazir. So we shrunk the Nazir a little bit, and we faded him out. The guy in the middle, we're not dealing with him now. Why? We're in the second haircut. The second haircut is impossible to deal with a tamei guy. We're either going to deal with him in the first haircut or in the third haircut, not in the second haircut. The second haircut is going to be either the second haircut for the Motsei. This picture is wrong, but 2 a.m, you don't expect him to get rid of those birds, right? He doesn't eat birds at the second haircut. Okay, but we're using the same character. What does he need now if he's a Motsei? A pigeon. And if he's tar, he's going to get a ayla. But if he used the pigeon, what are we going to do with the ayla? It's going to be in a dava. So there you go. He gets a Chat HaZayv, and the ayla should go in a box as a gift. Shalom Yisrael. But if at the second haircut he is a Nazir Tahar, so he's going to use the ayla, and the bird is going to go and be buried. So bottom line is, you take the bird and you bury it. If it's a good chatas because he's a Motsei, it goes for his mitzaras. Now pay attention over here. We're only using one animal. Our typical Motsei at the end has to bring 3 animals. 1 is enough right now. For him to take a haircut, 1 is enough. A Nazir also, we know, the whole Masechta, Shlamim Chatas Oyla. All we're dealing with is Oyla right now. For him to continue on with his life, he brings 1. When is he going to bring 3? On the final haircut. That's when he's going to pile up all the korbanos and bring them all.
That he's a Motsei,
Yeah.
he has to bring the
Not ma'akiv, not this, that, yeah. Okay, now we're holding by the third haircut. Mendy, you still with me? It's good? We're staying up till 2? It's not even necessary, but whatever. We're making the sugya because I think there's a lot of confusion. On the third haircut, now we go back to maybe we're done with Saras. You see, we shrunk the Motsei and he's faded out. He cannot be a Motsei anymore because we already went through 2 haircuts. On the tzad that he's maybe a Motsei, we got rid of the Saras. What might, yes, be the problem? Maybe it's tamei. So for that, he gets Chat HaZayv, and the ayla is an adava, and on the tzad that he was never tamei and never a Motsei, then here goes, we're going to use his ayla for him, and the Chat HaZayv goes into the grave, and finally, we're at the 4th haircut. 4th haircut is only, we got rid of the tzaras, we got rid of the tumah, it's just him. But check this out. He's going to be weighed down by all these korbanos. He has to bring all the korbanos at the end. Okay, Shalom Yisrael. This is a mistake, but I couldn't reach him. Over here, only the ayla is an adava. What? A suffix nidava, a suffix that he did it right. The other korbanos he has to bring, Rabbi Yisrael, right? We got for the final Yosef, for the final, I don't know if he's going to be up then. But just in case he's up, I don't know how to change it. This is animation stuff, I don't know. We have to take out, so we don't fool the rest of the world when they watch this thing, we have to take out the shlamim and the chatas, because that 100% he has to bring. It's at the tail end of the Nazir. No matter what, he's a Nazir, so he has to bring the chatas and the shlamim. The ayla he might have brought the times before, first, second, third time. So Mila today might be on a dava. Okay, next. Says the Mishnah inside. Says we have 4 minutes to do a daf. Great. We did a lot of it. Yeah. Let's see it inside. We're holding 5 lines down from the top. He brings those 3 animals. Shniya, maybe chatas oiva oilas behema. For the second haircut, he only brings the chatas oiva oilas behema. Shlishis, maybe chatas oiva oilas behema, because maybe he's tamei. Revi'is, maybe carbon tahara. The 4th one, he only brings a carbon in case he's a Nazir tar. Amris. Now the Gemara explains. Tiglachas Rishona maybe Monavshach. Shaper Kamaisi. Divadi Mitzaira, should I just go back and do the things while we're talking here so that if anybody's watching it, here we go. Okay, we're not gonna, you don't have to look at the screen, I'm gonna click through it as if I know what I'm doing. Okay. By the way, there's a wild Rambam somewhere that says that a Motsei that gets shaved must be shaved by a Kohen, which threw me into a loop, because if he gets shaved by a Kohen, I don't think a Kehenes shaves a woman. So I don't know what's going on over there. You understand? Another human being has to shave the Motsei, according to the Rambam. And that could bring up a lot of interesting, complicated halachas. Says the Gemara, so if he's a Motsei, if he's so then the birds are for him. Then the birds are 100% the chayva. Goes into the grave. And then I explained already, how do you bring a bird if you're a multimillionaire? You have to bring an animal. The answer is yes, to be mafkiz l'chasam. V'oila having nedava. And to go ahead and give him a haircut immediately, like a regular Motsei, only wait 7 days. You cannot do the dilma lav muchlatu because we don't know that he's 100% a Motsei. It's only a suffix. He might be a Nazir now, and if he's a Nazir, you're not allowed to shave his head. This is the Raiso. What if he's tame? Like right here, you see in the chart, he's tame. So then the bird is his carbon. Those little sparrows, it's outside of the Mikdash. It's not chulun ba'azara. There's no problem. And then you let them loose and you throw it in the garbage. But it's ba'ema having a dava, and the oila is on a dava, v'ilav mitzairahu, v'ilav tamehu, and if it's neither, he was never a mitzair, never tame, then tzipari b'abrayim misavdim, then the birds, nothing happened because the sparrows outside of Yisamidish is nothing, chadas zayiv l'kfura, and then you just bury that bird, or it's behema v'chayvasai, and then you give him a oila for the chayv. Ask the Gemara a side question, v'abai asham. Let me see if I can find it here real quickly. Chart this here. So check out a Motsei. There's an asham over there. What are we going to do about the asham? How come we're not dealing with it? Reb Shimoni, Damar Maisiu Masne. Yes, he does bring an asham, and he makes it tonight. He says, if this is my asham, great. If it's not my asham, I'm not a Motsei, and I don't have to bring this. It's not chulun ba'azar. You know why? I'm turning it into a shlamim. I want this to be a shlamim. Because shlamim and asham have the same halachas in terms of the type of where you put the blood and everything else. They could be identical. Tiglach hashni ushlishis. Now we're going back to the charts. Here. Tiglachas shnia ushlishis. So the Gemara does. Don't be fooled by the words here. Tziparim leitzarich da'avid. You don't need to do the birds. We got rid of it in the first step. He's for sure not a Motsei in step 1. He might be a Motsei in step 2, in the second shaving of a Motsei. So no sparrows. Mayika. So what are we left with? Dilma vadi muchlatu. And maybe he was 100% a Motsei. So therefore, chada, one bird. Chada means one bird here, Rabbi Yisai. The suffix sifroi. So the bird will go towards his. Yeah, this doesn't matter. You understand what's going on. The bird is for his tzaras, and the oila would be for his nadava, and the chada. This we're going to get to the next chart. If it's a tar, fine. Chada means on the third shaving. So here we are in this chart. Chada, you hear what's going on here? A little tricky. You can put it in a pencil in your Gemara. Chada means one bird in Tiglachas number 2, and Chada means one bird in Tiglachas number 3. We're skipping now to the third shaving. And that, we said, in the third shaving, as you can see here, perhaps he's a Tamei Nazir. And a Tamei Nazir has to bring a pigeon.
Bring the novel.
What?
As a Motsei, he brings it later.
The?
He's a suffix that he makes it a Motsei.
No, we're in the third one. Third one, he's not a Matsar anymore. We got rid of Matsar in 1 and 2. Now he's the only thing that he could be is maybe he's a Tameh and maybe he's a regular Nazir. So therefore he brings a Ayla and he brings a Ayf. We jumped to Tiglach HaShlishis. We're done with the Tiglach HaSheni. We mentioned it in 2 words and we jumped to Tiglach HaShlishis. It says together, look at the Gemara. Tiglach HaShniya Ushlishis, the second and the third. Tzipar Litzarach da Avid, Ma'igedil Mevadi Mukhlu, Chadel Safek. 1 bird is for Tiglach HaShniya. Svarai, and 1 bird, we're going to jump to Tiglach HaShlishis, to the third Tiglach, the third haircut, that's for Tumah. Tiglach HaRevius, and finally, Rabbi Yisai, we're all the way at the end. Tiglach HaRevius, where am I? Oh, it's a lot of charts here. Here we go. The 4th and final, maybe carbon tahara, and he should bring the carbon, and he makes a tonight. By the way, I forgot to tell the Olam, today is Beis Nisan. Today is very significant when it comes to Tahara. We're talking about Tahara, right? Tiglach HaShlishi is for the Tar. Beis Nisan is the very first time we had a Paraduma, which is part of the process. You have to sprinkle him on the 3rd and 7th day for Tahara. So on the Revi'is, maybe carbon Tahara or Masni, and he should make a Tnai. What is he making a Tnai on? On the Oila only. Daf Samach Amud Beis. We turn the page, Rabbi Yisai, don't space out here. Vivade Naziru, Oila Rishoyna Chayva Vizuna Dava. Then my Oila is nothing today, not nothing, it's just the gift to Hashem. Vim Tameh Umuchluru. And if I was Tameh, so therefore I was never able to be a real Nazir, and I was a Mitzayra, so I wasn't able to be a real Nazir. And today, I'm finally done with my Nazirus. Oila Rishoyna Dava. All the Oilas in 1, 2, 3 haircuts, they all were gift. V'zu chayva, like in the chart right now, this is a real full-fledged oilas nazir. V'zeh shar karbana, and here goes the rest of his karbanas, Rabbi Yisai, the shlamim and the chatas, and he's done. Whew. We're not done yet. We have a lot to do today. I don't know. We're gonna have to say shachris. What?
It's 7:05. You got an hour.
Ah, Givaldi, we have plenty of time now. Rabbi Yisai. Now we're going to the next case. Let's see if I can get here. Let me just jump ahead. Oh. This is very, very simple and very, very simple charts. I'm jumping ahead a little bit at the end of the sugya to the beginning of the sugya, so remember this chart. If a guy is 100% the Mitzayra, 100% Tameh, the process is very simple. He gets shaved on day 1. Why? Because Tzaras, as the Chaloi says, Tzaras pushes it off. Day 1. He waits 7 days, gets another haircut. When does he bring his Karbanas? On day 8. You could count the days in the blue squares on the bottom. Day 8. Day 9, he starts counting 7 days because maybe he's Tameh. Not maybe, he's Vade Tameh. Sorry, Vade Tameh. When does he shave? On day 7, which is day 14. When does he bring his carbon? The following day, day 15. That's when 30 days begin for his Naziros, all the way to day 44, and on day 45, he brings his Karbanas. He waits 31 days to shave and to bring the Karbanas. Okay? That's if he's a Vadei Vadai. Now, next case that we're going to do right now, what if he's a Safek Tameh? He's a Vadei Mitzayr Safek Tameh. So Vadei Mitzayr could shave when? Immediately on day 1. He waits 7 days, another haircut, brings the carbon on day 8. But now, since he's a Safek Mitzayra, a Safek Tameh, but he might be a real Nazir today. He might be a Vadi Nazir, so he has to wait 30 days. Waits 30 days. So on day 38, he brings his carbon and he does the shaving. But he might have been Tameh. So another 30 days. So when does he get to do, when is it over? On day 68. Okay, 30 plus 31 plus 30, do the math, 68. Says the Gemara inside. This is what I sent him. That's the chart that I drew when I sent him. This was it, and he brought it out beautifully. 67 days, The next day is called 68, the Gemara says. Okay, the Gemara calls it as 67, it means 68. Muchlat Safek, what about this case? We're not 100% sure he was a Motsei, but he's 100% a Vadei Tamei. Rabbi Yosef, I'm sorry about Shachars, we're running late here. Muchlat Safek v'tamei Vadei Oicha b'kachim la'achar shleishim b'shiva yamim. It's going to take him 37 days. As you can see, 74, the next day afterwards, the following day is 75. So, you want to do the cheshbon, he could only start shaving when? He's a Suffolk Nazir. Motsei, sorry. Suffolk Motsei. So, the tzaras doesn't undo, he can't shave. But he's a Vadei Tamei. He's certainly Tamei. So, he waits 7 days. So, only on day 7 in blue is when he does his first haircut. And then he brings his karbanos, and then he waits 30 days. And then on day 31, he brings his karbanos again. He waits 7 days for his tumah, and then another 30 days for his naziros, 75 days. Oh, now, if he's 100% tamei and 100% the Motsei, that's the first case I showed you. We could just go there real quickly, right over here. We don't have to explain it. He takes a haircut on day 1 because he's 100% of Motsei, and it only takes 45 days. 44 plus 1 is 45. Should we do this Gemara real quickly? Yes. Okay, it's very, very easy, and I have a really, really good chart to explain it and make it even easier. Check out this chart. I love this chart. Baruch Hashem. This is not Yoshi, this is me. And I think it explains it very well. There's 4 options here. 2 haircuts for Motsei, 1 haircut for a Tamei, 1 haircut for a Tar. The Gemara is now just going to ask, why can't you use a haircut for the Motsei, let's say for the haircut of a Nazir? In other words, number 1 should work for number 4. Or number 2 should work for number... Why not? So look, very, very simple according to this chart. Why? Because they have to be the same, says the Gemara. You have to have a green and a green. You can't match a green with a red. Okay. Says the Gemara, Nazir Tahar u'Motsei. So in this case, number 4 is the Nazir Tahar, u'Motsei is number 1. How come you can't just take 1 haircut? It should be good for everything. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work. They asked, could it work? No. 1 haircut doesn't work for 2 things. Why? Sometimes you shave your head so that you can grow more hair. So the first Motsei shaves his head, so he can grow more hair to shave his head a second time. A Nazir who's Tamei shaves his head, so he can grow his hair for 30 days and take a haircut. That's ligado. Lahavir is when he's done. A Nazir Tahar, at the end of the process, he shaves his head. He doesn't care if it grows or doesn't grow. He's done. It's lahavir. So Mele says 1 and 4. Look at 1 and 4. 1 and 4 has a green box next to it. 1 is green, ligado. 4 is red, lahavir. Green and red don't go together. You can't use a green for a red. Okay. So what's the obvious question? Use a green for a green. Use 1 for 3. Oh, you can't use 1 for 3 because 1 all the way at the end has a red box and 3 all the way at the end has a green box. Green doesn't work for red and red doesn't work for green. That's it. That's the whole sugi. Great. Actually, 1 is 4 is lahavir. U'Motsei legadol, and you want to take his hair off so that he can grow more. Doesn't work. And therefore, it's not going to work for Motsei and for counting. So ask the Gemara. So how come we can't use the 100% Motsei for 100% Motsei for Sifroi? If the last box was the same color, great. When does he shave? Before they pour the blood on the Mizbeach. And Nazir's after Zrika, and therefore one is green and one is red, it doesn't work. You can't do one shaving for the other. Says Gemara, but you have number 1 and number 3, they're both green. Let them work for each other. No, it depends when he goes to the mikveh. They go to the mikveh at different times. In other words, they're very different than each other. When he's tamei, it's after going to the mikvah. That's when he shaves. Motsei shaves before going to the mikvah. And now over here the Gemara repeats itself word for word, and we already said this. It's like a lashon acher. They said. The problem is 1 and 3 should be the same. They're both legadol. You see, 1 and 3 are green legadol. Let's just do 2 lines and we'll finish it. It's the exact same thing we learned already. That you see there's a difference. This is before going to the mikvah. The different. Rabbi, have a wonderful day. Motsei Shabbos 9:30.